Welcome to the industry special.
You got any burps in you? Welcome to episode 39 of the Industry Special podcast. Today I'm joined with two new people that some of you may know, some of you may not. Starting off first, we got everybody's favorite hot sauce guy, the hot sauce boss. We got Varian.
What's going on, man?
Uh-oh.
How's everybody doing?
Mic's off. Mike sounded a little weird though.
That's weird.
You got the robot going on.
There we go. How's that?
That's good. We're keeping it in there.
Is that better? That's cool, man.
Oh yeah. And
I was messing with the controls of the thing, so I must have messed it up. My bad.
No problem. And second guest we have a man I just met right now, but we are part of the same community. We have Clint Ashlock. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Clint Ashlock. I'm a jazz musician in Kansas City, and man, just looking to chop it up.
There we go. All right, so
See,
usually
that all in itself, like, jazz musician in Kansas City. That is right. It. Do I really need to follow that?
I mean, I'd like to stay in the world, but I haven't been anywhere in 19 months. So, like,
I mean, but you got barbecue though.
Man, I got barbecue.
You definitely got barbecue down, for sure.
You ain't got to go nowhere.
All of it. It's all up in everywhere.
All right, you fellas got any hot sauce laying around next to you?
Not really. I need to go to the fridge.
Yeah, I'd have to go to the fridge.
Oh, we doing that? I
we doing it. Go grab some.
I'll be right back.
It is not a joke. So yeah, everybody, usually we do the shot of Fernet. I'm still going to pour myself a shot of Fernet. But since we got a hot sauce CEO on the podcast, I'm also going to do a shot of hot sauce. I got the coffee habanero kicks with
got the original right here.
The original.
Oops. This is interesting. Like, the camera's right here, but it's showing that it's off. I'm like,
right.
Weird.
Pump your website. Tell them all about your stuff, man.
So the website is kickswithvhots.com. It's a sneaker-inspired hot sauce brand. Started about, August 2020 during COVID. And, thanks to people like you, with the support and everything like that, things are going good. Got a bunch of different flavors on there. I even got a flight sampler, so if you don't want to commit to a full bottle, you can always get a full array of all the flavors around the same price.
And it's fire. So cheers, fellas.
I got some.
What you got there, Clint? He got homemade.
Like some fermented habanero and
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm just gonna have
cheers.
I don't know, a little dab.
Woo. All right.
That is really good.
Which one was that?
God. This is the coffee.
Yeah, which one? Yeah. Oh, you had the coffee?
Coffee habanero.
Nice.
Wash that down with a beer. All right, so stay on the hot sauce topic. Varian.
Yeah.
You got some new flavors out and coming, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Can you talk about what's coming up?
I just dropped the Chipotle Ginger. That's brand new. I just dropped that a couple of days ago. And I have a Carolina Reaper flavor coming up really soon.
So question.
Yeah.
You have actual Carolina Reaper peppers?
Yep.
Where the hell you get? I've never seen one in person.
I get them from a farm. So, I order them, in bulk, ship it in, that sort of thing. I try to keep it as local as possible. Most of my, raw ingredients are sourced within, my neighborhood or, within Oakland. But for the peppers, it's still in California, so you
Yeah.
know it's technically still local.
You got like a whole hazmat suit when you're dealing with all
Yeah,
this.
man.
I double glove. I double glove. Like yeah, no, like
They
no
teach you that
joke.
in health class, right?
The one time I was like, you know, just like prepping the peppers and everything like that. Like I swear my hands were still burning through like one vinyl glove, so I had to double up.
Damn.
I was like, yo, this is crazy.
That's nuts, bro. Oh my god. Okay, so
But I like the dedication of it's burning through a vinyl glove. I'm not going to stop doing this thing. I'm just going to add more vinyl gloves.
I
put
gotta
two on.
finish. I gotta
Yeah,
finish.
man.
I do it for the people.
That's what it's about.
this is true. This is
Your
true.
hands just like, oh man.
And you know, I've had like accidents to myself. You know, pure stupidity on my part. Like where I'm
Oh,
cleaning
no.
my equipment. You know, I don't put my gloves on. Totally forget. And then I'm like stepping out of the house, so I put my contacts on and be like,
Ah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's happened more than 3 times. So
And you still can see.
I am lucky. Let's just say that.
So Clint, obviously you said you're a hot sauce guy. You have your own fermented habanero hot sauce just chilling in the fridge.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as Variants at all, but I was messing around with some like fermentation uh, with some peppers and stuff. And so I thought I would, you know, macerate those into a sauce just to try it out. But
Nice.
I mean, right before we started, I had to get back on Variant's website and order a couple new bottles.
I just saw the thing. I just saw it come through. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
well,
got you. Don't believe. I'm gonna pull up on you. I know where you at. So I'm gonna come forget the shipping. I'm gonna come get that.
No
What is it,
doubt.
ginger
Oh, by the way,
chipotle? Is that what you said?
here's a picture of the fresh Carolina Reapers.
Damn.
yeah, that even looks wrong.
I can't even find Scotch bonnet for my jerk.
Like no lie. Like here's a video. I mean the peppers just look angry.
They do.
Dude.
So what do they taste like? What's the difference? Like in flavor, are they fruity like a habanero? Or are they?
They're a little fruity like a habanero because it's a hybrid between I believe scorpion pepper and a habanero. That's why you have that tail at the end, which is from the scorpion pepper. So yeah, it's a little fruity. So you can still do stuff like with mango or whatever. But you know the heat level is all the way up. It's a little different. It's not as fruity as a habanero. Definitely not as sweet, but it's subtle hints.
I feel
For
like
sure.
you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. But
Man,
you make it, I'm gonna get some. That's for sure.
seriously.
It's ready. Like I just have to finish up the second half of the prep, and I'm waiting on labels and everything like that. So it's coming out soon.
Brought out your will.
Oh yeah, I've got to put a disclaimer right on the site and be like, hey, buy at your own risk.
Damn. Like hot
Actually,
bullets is hottest, hot chicken.
I might have to put a disclaimer out because the one that I'm testing out right now is actually a blend, and it's going to be a limited edition sauce.
Like a scotch? Like
We
got a
single
blend.
single barrel.
I'm taking that approach. Yes,
Ooh, all right.
it's a super hot blend. So it's got Carolina Reapers, it's got ghost peppers, it's got scorpion peppers, and habaneros.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one. I'm not gonna ever open it. Forget about it. It's just gonna be a collector's item.
Well, I told you it's super flavorful, but I'm trying to make it a little hotter. It's not hitting the way I want it to, which is kind of funny to say.
You got to chase that dragon, man. I mean, like,
He's like, it's like Muhammad Ali. I'm looking for that Tyson right now.
I want it to hit like Tyson. Like, like what he says, man, everybody comes in with a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Oh man. So question, you guys. Clint first. What's your favorite all-time hot sauces? Or hot sauce?
oh man. I mean,
No pressure.
more No,
like a Mount Rushmore of hot
I'm not going to
sauce.
mention brands because that wouldn't be right. But I will say I look for certain flavor notes, just like in a coffee or something. Um, I really like fruity, although Varian's the pineapple habanero. Like I don't normally go for things like that, but it made so much sense the way you were talking about it. With like al pastor or whatever.
Right.
Um, so, but I mean, that's why I like habanero so much. I like the fruitiness. I mean, I think that's my favorite flavor of a pepper. Um, I like kind of a nice, acidic, bright. Uh, I like to know that the vinegar is there. When
Okay.
you get like, I mean, I think the only time I want something like thicker is, like if I'm having like some traditional buffalo wings or something. So like
Right.
acidic, fruity, you know, go for something like that.
Nice.
Varian, other than your own hot sauces, do you have
I got some
a,
favorites. I mean,
a
not gonna lie,
classic go-to?
I actually enjoy the hot ones less dabs. I tried
Oh,
the Carolina Reaper. I tried the Triple X. Still have a bottle of the Apollo. They're all surprisingly good.
do you ever
Um,
have the bomb?
Man,
I'm not gonna waste my time with the bomb because I actually use the hot sauce for food. If
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
gonna just like decimate everything, then fine, I'll go with the bomb. But I'm
But
pretty
that's
sure I had the bomb. No, I've had the bomb by itself once before, just to try it out. But I'm sure I've probably had the bomb in some iteration when I was doing like hot wing challenges at like Quaker Steak and Loops and stuff to get the triple atomic wing challenge and whatnot to get your name on the wall of flame.
all right.
I've done those, so yeah.
oh
Yeah.
damn.
Well, the guy that makes it's from Kansas City. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and so I had it once, and it's awful. It is not something you want in and
I,
around your mouth in
I
any.
mean, it has its own lane, right? Novelty sauces
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
bomb, like 100% pain, or all the others. Like there's a lane for it.
yeah.
I just don't want to be in that lane.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so we all know each other through a community of people, a server, a Discord server,
Right.
sneaker history. I think I got some. I think I got some sneaker history shit here. There we go. These guys right here.
Hey.
Got my keychain.
All right.
So let's talk about that. How'd you guys get into sneaker history community?
Very. You take it first
Uh,
if you want.
okay. I did some research because I was looking something, and then I came across sneaker history, and then kind of followed Nick Engvall on Instagram, to see what he was doing and stuff. But again, I've known some other people like Chris Chase and a few other people before that, and I saw like uh, you know they'll kind of know each other, so to speak. And then I believe Nick reached out to find like I don't want to say intern, but like an assistant at one point, and I just kind of shot him an email like, hey, I'd love to kind of help out, pitch in, or whatever the case may be. But that didn't pan out. We ended up just connecting, and he was coming up to San Francisco at the time. He was living in LA, so he was coming up. We connected, just hung out, drank boba, ate food, chilled, talked, reminisce, and just kind of clicked from there. And then when DesignerCon came around in 2019, he had a booth, so I helped him out with that, with setup. I was the MC at the booth, kind of just bring people in, and we all just had a good time, like shooting like mini hoops, and I was just talking shit to everybody, and just having a good time, just pulling in people, just kind of like create awareness for the sneaker history brand, and just help Nick out essentially.
For sure. Clint.
Man, I mean, I didn't know anybody like in the Discord, but I mean, I've been into shoes since I was in high school. And like came kind of late to the whole like YouTube podcast party. Like I was just kind of out on an island with a couple friends, and I mean, you know, a Nike talk, and then I mean, I feel like if you're into sneakers, like you've definitely read Nick Ingval and um, you know, and his associations with different, you know, print media and stuff, or like
Right.
digital media. And man, I just like I was walking my dog, and I was like, I don't want to listen to the Bill Simmons podcast today. Like I want something different. And I just searched for sneakers because it was on my mind. And um, like it was one of their first podcasts, and so the audio was like real rough.
Oh
Like
my goodness.
it was like so rough.
The good
It,
old days.
yeah, it was like so rough. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to listen to this, but um, I don't even remember what it was. Like right as I had that thought, like something Nick said was just like, I mean, I don't know if you can say somebody talking about sneakers was beautiful, but it was like beautiful. Something that he said about history and connectivity and
Right.
whatever. And so I stuck it out. And like after one episode of the podcast, I was like hooked, you know. And I mean, I had read on their website, you know, which is where I got kind of most of my sneaker like information from, you know, like blogs and websites and stuff. And just kind of went back and like devoured their whole website and um, may have been listening to him, you know, and then the audio got better. And I was like, oh man, like not only these guys know what they're talking about, but they care like a lot to put in the work to like make the product better, to bring more people into like that community. And I just thought, man, like that's like almost antithetical to what you see like shoe tubers, which I don't hate on shoe tubers or anything, but like there's so much about bringing people together as opposed to like flexing or getting
Right.
views and stuff. And I mean, like Robbie makes me laugh all the time, you know, like Mike, you know, he's straight up dad mode, which I identify with, you know, and it's like, and then the people, man, like the Discord, I mean, like right off the bat, uh, like everybody in there was like personable and friendly, and have personalities and stories to tell and stuff. And it's great. Like I don't spend a lot of time online, but I really like, you know, checking it out in there. I had some great conversations and great people, you know.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not very active online with too many communities. I know some people are like, oh yeah, you know, whatever their, you know, their thing is, you know, they're really into communicating with other people like that. That's never been my thing, except when it comes to sneakers. Like, because it's just so dope to wake up and see what everybody's rocking today, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
What
Yeah.
everybody's talking about just in the general, like, oh man, cop the L. Oh, you hit. Okay, cool. Hey man, could somebody give me a size 11? You know, try to, you know,
Right.
we're hooking each other up, you know, or at
Right.
least, you know, attempting, you know, just, you know, that's pretty rare, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of dope that there's like zero bullshit, hate, nothing going on there. It's all just people just being fucking real and dope, down to earth. But I've been following Nick on Twitter. I don't know, probably since we both got on Twitter. I have no idea how, but like you said, reading, you know, articles that he wrote and everything, and just, but for the longest, like, you know, he's a Giants fan, a Kings fan. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Kings fan. So, you know, me and him just I swear to God, I wish there was a way to go back and tell, but me and him have been following each other for a fucking very long time. And so then, you know, I see what he posts, and, you know, he's, you know, promoting this and posting that. Hey, check this out, check this out. So somehow I saw about the podcast, or I listened to the podcast, and it was like, oh yeah, we got a Discord server. I'm like, oh shit. Sign up for that, right? So it's just, you know, it's dope how everybody is, you know, come together, like how this, like, you know, me and Varian are in the same damn city. Would have never known. Would
Right.
have walked right past each other, you know?
Probably
Or
have.
probably have, exactly. Or look at each other like, oh, he got some nice kicks on. Oh, he got some nice kicks on. Oh, well, you know, keep it
Right.
moving.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
right.
you know, in Clinton, Kansas City, you know, there would no way I would ever, you know, known about this guy, you know. But
Right.
today I'm gonna learn about some jazz coming up soon, you know. He's gonna talk about some barbecue. You know, we're gonna get there. So, you know, it's just hella dope. But before we get away from the sneakers, since that's how we got together, what are you guys' favorite sneakers? Or Favorite style of sneaker. Give me something. Give me something.
Man, I'll go first.
Or
I
a story
think
about your first or something. Give me.
Oh
Come on.
man, I'm 41, so like I am fighting that battle of like, where am I at on the journey, you know?
Right.
And like the older I get, like I mean, I'm looking up at a pair of Lightnings that I just caught, uh, when they released, and I mean, it's like that was an unattainable shoe, and it's like I couldn't wait to get it, but I got it. Like I know I'm gonna wear it, but I look at it and I'm like, how? What? you know, and so I mean it ebbs and flows like where it's at. I mean, I'm like, do I just graduate to New Balances and Air Maxes all the time? I'm actually like totally cool with that. But so like that's like the inner, you know, musings, I guess, of a 40 something sneakerhead. But man, I don't know, like I mean, when I was a kid in high school, I mean I graduated high school in 1998, and so that like right when Jordan retired. So I mean, I like basically followed his whole career from
Right.
before they started winning, like in the playoffs to the end. And so we used to get the East Bay catalog and sit on my friend Brian
Oh
Meyer's
yeah.
front patio and like circle the shoes that we wanted and never get,
Yeah.
and like then I got in my 30s after like 20s and 30s of like trying to save up for some Alan Edmonds and some suits or something. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm not this. Like, I want this. And then the floodgates opened. I started like, started taking L's, like in the late 2000s and 2010s. And I mean, that like feeds the beast a little bit. But I don't know, man. Like, I mean, if I had to pick like my favorite style, like it would be like my favorite sneaker of all time is a Bread One. Like I could just have that one, bad arches and all, infrared 90s and like New Balance 990, any V of those
Nice.
Classic for
990
sure.
Picnic V.
Hell yeah. All right, Varian, what you got?
Nice. For me, the older I've gotten, I lean more low tops now.
Mm-hmm.
Like runners, low tops. When I was younger, my teens and stuff, it's all mid tops. Walking around in Jordans, mid tops all day, every day. And the older I've gotten, it's like low tops. I
Mm.
I don't even like to fuck with mid tops anymore. Even with Jordans, I'm like going low tops all day. Um, but lately, it's just been running shoes or low top basketball shoes. Like Jordan 1 lows, I don't even care for the highs at all. Like just give me the lows and I'm good.
All right, so what was your first like major shoe that you got and you were like just fell in love with the fucking shoe?
Oh,
Like
that's easy. It's I was 14 years old and it was the Jordan 6. I saved up money for it.
Mm.
It was my first pair of Nikes, first pair of Jordans. Yeah, and I was 14. Like my parents told me like, you can get anything you want as long as you use your own money. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go
Mm.
around the neighborhood, wash all the cars for people, make some money out of that, polish my dad's shoes, make some money out of that. I'm half Chinese, so Chinese New Year come around, save that money up, and then and then went out to go buy my shoes.
that's
Yeah,
what's up.
man. Well, I mean, how old are you?
I'm 43.
43. Okay, so I mean, same time period.
So I'm the baby in the building here.
You are the babyface assassin.
Man, I mean, I wanted that infrared 6. Like, I didn't even know it was called the infrared 6. I just wanted it because he wore it.
Same.
And I
I
didn't get
wanted
it.
it because a buddy of mine had it too, and I would see him play ball, and I'm like, yo, that's just sick as hell. Like it was a beautiful colorway, and then I saw the Carmines, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, initially I was like, yo, these are cool. I bought them. Again, I was 14, but I never saw Jordan in them at the time. So I returned them and swapped them up for white and blues. And a month later, I regretted the shit out of it.
Oh
to this day, it's been over 30 years. I still have not owned a pair.
I mean, there's more years to come, I guess, though, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'll take a B grade, man. I can whiten up the midsoles with that
I was
thick,
just gonna
it's all
say,
good.
like those pink ones just came out, you know.
Oh yeah, like
You
yeah,
know, all the red bled off.
yeah,
But
yeah. No, I'm down with that. I got no problems with that at all.
Yeah, man.
so 43 and 41, right? So my
Yeah.
brother is 6 years older than me. That makes him 42. So I'm 36. So he got me onto the East Bay magazine. So I remember being at our grandma's house and looking at the East Bay. And I remember just seeing a lot of shoes that just looked the damn same, you know, just that white base, you know, the shoes in the 90s. They just like, you
Right.
know, and then you saw like something just out of nowhere come out, like, and it was like a Nike, you know, flight, whatever the hell, or a Jordan or something. And I was just like, damn, you know. So I remember
Right.
us like saving every fucking East Bay, taking them to school, tearing off, you know, like put a poster type thing on the wall from an ad, you know, be like, oh man, like,
It's
you
like
know,
90s Instagram, like the East
Yeah.
Bay.
Oh yeah.
seriously,
Like, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
it
mean,
really
man,
was.
I wanted that the black and red is what we called them, like black and red six, so bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm playing basketball, and I mean, so it was between like anything, any Jordan, and then anything with the flight, like the triangle,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like any of those. And so I played, and I got the one shoe like everybody else. Like I got the one shoe to like walk to school in, and I got the one shoe to hoop in. And
Yep.
um,
Oh, you're lucky, man. I had the one shoe for everything.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, like, well, I had to negotiate. Like, I had to negotiate to get two, and then like finally, my dad, like, he was like, "All right, you want, a pair of Jordans? Let's go get a pair of Jordans." And so,
Nice.
um, I mean, what would that have been? I would have been. It was a year after it came out, so I would
So
have
it's
been
probably 7.
like maybe a freshman, and the sevens had been out for a year, and so he
Okay.
took me in, and I got like, I don't even remember where we went, like Foot Locker, I don't know, but they had like they had J's on the wall, and they were on like sale, which still seemed like $5 billion at the time, and so he got me a pair of the black, like the Raptors, like
Oh, the 7s?
yeah,
Nice.
and so I wore those until they fell apart. But then we got like school shoes, and so we had Converse like my senior year we had Converse 2000s and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, man, that was like my one pair of J's that I had, you know, and
Yeah.
and then I got older, and it's like I really wanted them, but I was trying to do adult things, and like I mean, I tried for like dunks and stuff like that when they were super hot, but I never got them because our like Kansas City doesn't really have like a skate shop that you can go into and try and get them, and I didn't, wasn't buying
Right.
them on eBay. But yeah, man, and then I got a pair of like what year did the Bordeaux's retro, and that kind of opened the floodgates, like whenever that was, like 2000. I don't know what it was. The ones with the silver like on the bottom, whatever year that was, that kind of got me started buying J's again. But I always wanted them, man. I always wanted them.
Yeah, I had about a good 6 year phase where I was just like kind of just over sneakers just in general. I'm like, I'm like, all right, I need something new, and I just get something. And I
Right.
forgot what sparked me back into it. It had, I don't know. Well, I always got, whenever the Space Jams came out, I was like, okay, I'm getting the Space Jams. I've
Right.
had every Space Jam drop. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe I think 2016 when they came back out and they had the new cut leather. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what kickstarted me back again to start just being a damn fiend again. But my story is, I remember watching the national championship, Arizona Wildcats. I think they're playing Kentucky, and Mike Bibby's out there, and he has his blue fucking
Shit.
shoes on, right? And I'm watching, and it's old school TV. I'm like, what the hell is? I can't really
Right.
tell. There's no detail going on, right? And this is in early April, right? So we all come to school today. The next day, we're like, "What the fuck?" And we're all talking about it. And then, like maybe a couple weeks later, one of the magazines, something pops up on there. You know, it's a picture of his. And we're like, "What the hell?" And I guess during this time, it's probably when Penny Hardaway's negotiating to get them and take them away from Scottie Pippen. You know,
Right,
so
right.
those damn phone posits. So I remember when they were about to be announced, they were coming out, San Francisco, Nike Town. I told my dad, I said, "Yo, I don't want nothing for my birthday. I don't want nothing for Christmas. I don't want nothing the rest of my life. I have to have those shoes for summer to play summer basketball. I have to. That's all I want. I don't care what else. Nothing goes on, right?"
Nice.
I was like, and that was enough to sell him, right? So he goes down, and so this is my last day of school. It's my birthday. He shows up. I said, "You got to come to school. Drop them off." So they hit the buzzer. They're like calling me down to the office. I go down there. And my dad's down there. And he says, with a few curse words, and I was at Catholic school. They're looking like, and he says, "You know, these shoes cost me $220." And I was like, hit him with the Jordan. You know? And he says, "You know, also they told me that you can't wear these outside." I was like, so at the time, I guess whatever the case they said you're not supposed to wear these. This is what they told him. You can't wear them on concrete. These are only hardwood floor shoes. I'm assuming that's because the foam was so new and that, you know, they're supposed to have molded to your feet back then. You know, it was like that original foam posit. It was warm.
Right.
I remember the shoe being warm. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, once
So-
it's warmed up, it's supposed to like mold to your feet. Like, you know, you have that one-to-one feel.
And that shoe actually, like, it wasn't like, oh, hot, steamy. And it felt like it was like really like molding. But, yeah, he went through it, got him, brought him up to school. I thought it was the coolest shit in the world.
Nice.
And, that was like my greatest shoe moment. Cause I was like, he gets it. He doesn't get it. He gets that.
Story too.
Right.
This is all I give a damn about.
School. Woo.
Yeah, but yeah, you showing up in school with foams, like, yeah.
No, not showing up. He delivered them. I told everybody, I was
That's
like,
another level right there.
my dad's going to get them. It was like right before lunch. So I come back up to the classroom with a Nike Town box. Oh man,
That's awesome, man.
Hero.
That's a great
Yeah.
story.
seriously,
That's awesome.
Pops is the hero.
Yeah. Shoot.
That's
That would
cool.
have been
man.
like, I mean, my dad's like my best friend in the world, but my dad would have been like, no.
Yeah, my parents would have cussed me out. Both my parents would have cussed me out.
he cussed me out. Then he gave me them shoes and said, "Yeah, you're right. You ain't getting nothing else for the rest of the year." I was like, "Okay, all right."
I mean, man, when those dropped and like the price tag on them,
It was the most expensive shoe.
I
At the
couldn't
time.
believe it. I was like, I guess
They were
I
like
would have done
180.
it, you know.
Yeah, $179.99.
I mean, I thought like shoes in 2020 would be like $900.
Seriously, right?
It's getting there. You're not far off. It's getting
Depends
there.
on how much of a degenerate you are, I guess. Man, I gotta get those Travis Scotts.
Right?
Yeah, you're gonna pay some
Question.
thousands.
Like, any of you remember back in the day, you know, as far as I was concerned, right, you know, with regards to Jordans, like the signature line, like it either hits you or it doesn't. It's always 50-50
Yeah.
because the designs were always just like out of this world, super different. You know, it either hits you like, oh shit, this is hot, or it's like, I don't know, but then you start warming up to it anyway because you see MG on the court just fucking annihilating people.
Yeah.
I think it started with the 15s with that weird tongue.
I'm still
you know,
not a fan
come
of
out
the
like,
15s.
like
I'm
that.
convinced it's because he didn't play in it. You know, like if he would have played in it, I might feel some kind of way about it. But
Right.
you know, but I mean, it was a way with the eights, like with the straps. Like I thought the air raids were dope when I was a kid,
I love the 8s.
but when they first came out, I was like, no. And then I watched, you know, and like you were saying, man, like when we were kids, it's not like watching HD. You had to like get up
Yeah.
onto the,
Right.
you know, it's all wavy and no, mom, hold the bunny ears, you know, whatever. And
Put some foil on it.
and you know, but there was a picture of it. It was Sports Illustrated or something, and I was like, well, those are, I want those too. And my dad was like, No, you don't.
Yeah,
I want to
so
be like Mike.
a neighborhood buddy of mine and I, we kind of saved together. Like we put in a subscription for Sports Illustrated just to get like that's how I found out all like MJ wearing low tops in games and first seeing like the Jordan 14s and everything like that. I was like, there was no internet. You know what I mean? There no
Yeah,
like super close up shots. Like you had to get stuff like SI or like newspaper clippings. I would cut up newspaper clippings and put it on my like dress like door and walls and stuff like that
absolutely.
too.
100%. 100%.
Seriously. All right, so let's we do a little switch up here. So our guy Clint is from Kansas City. I want to talk about barbecue, but before we get into barbecue, how do y'all feel about the McRib, which is coming back?
Mm,
It's kind of barbecue-ish,
mm,
not real barbecue,
mm.
but
No.
I guarantee you
no.
this though. If you get a
Oh,
McRib,
no.
if you get a McRib and put my coffee habanero on it,
Mm-mm.
that's a game changer.
You got something, huh?
Mm.
It'll elevate it at the very least, right? No,
It's a
I've
game
never had a
changer.
McRib. I don't eat McDonald's, so but I saw something the other day, and I was like, "What? The McRib's back?" I was like, but some people like they're waiting all year for this. I didn't know that there was a
Yeah,
certain
they they
time.
they do it like every like what 4, 5, 6 years, some shit like that.
They're on StockX for $11. If you want
Seriously,
it. No, but people
it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm like, I was like,
Oh man,
the comedian Eddie Izzard,
Yeah,
like English guy,
love
and
them.
he's like, talking about like when Americans come to like, uh, you know, like Disneyland Paris or whatever, and it's like they're in awe of like, the castle, the Disneyland castle, and the people in Europe are like, no, we have real castles here. That's not a castle. This is a castle. That's the way I feel about the McRib. Like
Right.
the Applebee's, like riblets. Like, no,
oh no,
Yo,
no.
yo.
Uh
I
oh.
used to demolish Applebee's all you can eat riblets
oh,
all day. Like I got cut off before.
well,
Like
they
the
used to
waitress
have
was
like
like, "Nah, you had enough."
you get like 5 pounds of them for $10 or something. I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would go to town on that all you can eat riblets, man. I love that shit.
I don't think I've ever had it. I've had ribs from Applebee's. I've had some
Right.
good ones, and I've had some
Yeah.
horrible ones.
Yeah.
It's probably hit or miss, but some real ribs. What do you guys? What's your favorite thing to eat barbecue wise? Ribs, brisket, pork, pulled pork, pork belly,
All of it for me.
chicken.
All of it.
All
Oh
of it.
Jesus! Oh, you guys are just going all in, huh?
All of it.
In Kansas City, a real big deal here is burnt ends.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you know about
Hell
this?
yeah.
It's like the tip of a brisket, like on the point of a brisket or whatever. And it like gets,
It's the
uh,
best part, man.
yeah, man. Like so
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing. I mean, it's not. It used to be kind of a Kansas City specific thing, but it's not. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like here, just like anywhere else. That has like good regional cooking. Like you kind of find like the place you want for like, okay, here's the place that I want to go get some ribs, or here's the place I want to go get some brisket, or here's the place I want to go get some chicken, or whatever. And so like if I'm cooking it, or if I'm going to somebody's house or whatever, which is like still the best way to go, um just like whatever they like moves them to cook. Like I do a pretty good job with some ribs and some pork butt. um
Nice.
I mean, I like brisket, I like chicken a lot, but like those are the two things that I do well. So if I have people over, like that's what I make. um but it's kind of like you just want to go to the place that has the thing that's really good.
Right.
And so that's where we're at. But we've got whatever 100 barbecue places we can pick from. Like everybody in Kansas City has their like top, like a list of their top 24 like favorite barbecue places and why.
Oh,
Like
Right.
this is why
fucking
this is number
dream.
6, and this
So I
is
got
why,
a question, Clint.
yeah.
How far away from you from Wichita, Kansas?
like 3 hours.
Okay, because my favorite barbecue, one of my favorite barbecue spots is there. It's called Pig In, Pig Out.
Pig in, pig out. Okay.
It's
Pig in,
legit. I
hold on. Let me write
stumbled upon that place. It doesn't look like anything on the outside, and then you walk in, and all you see is ribbons and trophies, wall to wall. And I
So,
took a look at every single ribbon and trophy, and they place from first to ninth.
all right, like in the American Royal or whatever, like the.
Whatever, man. They had an extension, and it carried on there too.
All right, one of my
They have a
best
lot of ribbons and trophies.
man, one of my best friends is from Wichita, and he shares like a love of barbecue. I'll hit him up, see if he knows.
Okay.
It.
Yeah, because
Um,
like so, my buddy and I, we walked in. We couldn't get the ribs because they sold out.
yeah.
The guy in front of me bought the last rack, but we
Damn.
got everything else. My
All
buddy and I,
right.
we sat down, started eating. We looked at each other and just kept on eating and didn't even talk.
That's how you know. That's how you know
Exactly.
it's good. Yeah,
Exactly.
man, killing. That's killing.
So on the Wichita tip, um, I remember growing up and one of our neighbors. I don't know where he was from specifically, but he had a nephew or a grandson or something like that who would come in the summertime or for like a couple weeks, and he's from Wichita. So we
Okay.
called him Wichita. I don't even remember that guy's name, but that's the only thing I have for Wichita. I don't know anything else. But my grandmother, she's her people are from Kansas, somewhere in Kansas. I'd have to ask my mom, but
All right.
so we were talking about you and your nostalgic barbecue page. Said your uncle had passed down
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. My uncle Marvin, he was like, I mean, he grew up, it like his whole family like making soul food and stuff, and he made great chicken, great greens, um,
Mm,
black
Mm.
eyed peas and everything, and
mm.
like, uh, but I mean, it was barbecue. Like that was his thing, and he, I used to go out. Like he would take me fishing. He would take me all kinds of stuff, and it like Christmas, he would always make chicken and ribs, and it like Fourth of July, like it was always barbecue, right? And so I would go out and like stand on his little patio that it was not up to code, like on over the garage, and he had this like kind of entry level Brinkman smoker, and I mean hickory is a big deal up here in Kansas City, hickory and cherry, and so I would just like hang out with my uncle Marvin, and he would talk about how to do it, and he used to drink like gin and like either like pineapple juice or orange juice. It was like something, like he would drink this all the time. And like as the day moved on, I would always come back outside because I loved the smell, and he'd always pick little bits off, if it wasn't wrapped, he would like pick little bits off. I could have some, and I like that. And as the day moved on, like his drink, like these flies would be like hovering over his drink.
Oh,
And one time I was like, Uncle Marvin, how could you drink that? Like the flies are in it. He's like, these flies don't drink too much. And so I thought he was great.
oh
And
man.
him and my Alice, like they're really into jazz, and they kind of my dad, they fed that love too. And but anyway, man, like when he passed like 15, 20 years ago, he gave me his smoker. And he's like, you need to
Oh,
learn how to do
nice.
this. And I was like, okay. And so I like I was saying earlier, man, like I burned a lot of money's worth of meat those first few months, but got after it, and started asking questions and going to people's houses and really taking notes and stuff. And like I feel like it's at a respectable level at this point. But it's
I don't know,
man,
man. I think you're being a little too humble because I've seen some of your pictures in the Discord, and you don't play.
no, I don't. But you haven't tasted it yet, so it might just be good pictures. So that's the thing. Like Missouri is the show me state, so it's like show me or feed
Yeah.
me. So
Right,
you gotta
right.
come out. I gotta cook for
Varian,
you.
we got to go to Kansas City, man.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm
come
down.
on.
I'm down. Absolutely. For barbecue, I'm all in.
And come out
Seriously.
like an A's game, like A's Royals game. We might be better next year. It might be not be as embarrassing.
And the A's, God knows what they're gonna be like.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But so when you're so are you using all wood? Do you use charcoal? You use lump charcoal?
So I'll use lump like if I'm direct heat grilling because it gets like the I like the
Yeah, it gets
heat
hot
from
as
lump.
fuck. Yeah.
Um, I used to do like, oh man, what's the method? It's like a method where you make a ring of charcoal and then
Yeah.
you like put hot charcoal in the ring of charcoal. I can't remember the name of the method, but and then I would put wood chunks on that. But at the beginning of like the pandemic, this buddy of mine, the guy from Wichita, we split a subscription to that masterclass thing like online.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron Franklin from Franklin's Barbecue in Austin had a really good one, and he talked about like the wood and the fire and maintaining the fire and stuff. And since I saw that, I haven't used charcoal since. I just go straight wood, um, which is like you know, it's a different kind of thing, but um, it's like harder to maintain because charcoal will hold like a smolder like longer.
Right.
Wood tends to burn because I'm not soaking it or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
dried cured wood, and
Do you taste the difference?
yeah,
Like, oh,
absolutely.
and how significant is that difference?
It is such a cleaner flavor. Um,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, it's a much cleaner flavor than with charcoal. That's when you get that kind of creosote
Yeah.
sort of thing. Which
Right.
I mean, like I don't hate that either, but it's probably not real good for you. And
Carcinogenic.
yeah,
Hey, you
right.
know what? Whatever, man. Like you're gonna
Something's gonna take us out,
everybody's
right?
gonna die, so might
Yeah,
as well.
but at least it's not going to be that from now on, and like a consistent barbecue. It's great, man. It's super clean. Um, I had, I'm in Kansas City and I got like 3 grills in the backyard, and I got a smoker and I have a little Weber like for tailgating and stuff or steaks because it gets hot. And then I had a gas grill, but it kicked the bucket, so I got a Traeger uh, last year, and which is like kind of quietly a nice little grill for a lot of different things. But the cleanliness of the flavor of those pellets is like it's beautiful. It's a different
Okay.
smoke flavor, and it's
All right,
not.
hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
stop you real quick. So the last podcast I had, both of my buddies are contemplating getting the Traeger pellet grills, right?
yeah.
So I'm going to give you the floor right now. You tell me or tell them, explain if, because I was saying, from my research, I have not had one. None of us have had one. But what I've been researching is that they were saying that the pellets they don't have as much smoke.
They don't.
So you
They,
okay? But
so the
I'm
two
giving you
downsides.
got the floor.
Yeah. So the two downsides to me of a pellet is it doesn't get hot. Like it says it gets up to 450 or something. That doesn't like if you're trying to sear a steak, like I don't care what you do, it's not searing a steak. YouTube is wrong. Um, but for any kind of just like plain grilling, like where you don't want like you can make some passable ribs, you can make a pork shoulder on it, but it's not going to have like the characteristic deep smoke kind of flavor that you get, cooking on wood on stick.
Right.
So, but it's so easy and it tastes so much better than gas uh, because you still get some wood in there, like it's a flame, and it's easy to maintain. Like the tech is really cool. I mean, it keeps a temperature. You don't have to like baby it with gas. It's prone to all kinds of different things. And yeah, I am pro Traeger, but you can't expect it to be like to do everything really well. It just does like some stuff really well, and then it's like I was saying before we started the show that my grill is like old. It's like 30 years old, and so the integrity of the hull, it's like a ship. Like it's a little. It doesn't hold heat real well, and on a
Yeah.
cold, windy day, I tried to make a pork shoulder, and like it just it was a battle to keep it up around 270. And so I was like, after about 2 hours of fighting it, I was like, F it, I'm gonna put it on my Traeger. And it wasn't as good, but like it got there. Like the day wasn't ruined, and I didn't have to deal with it all day, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the dealing with it aspect of it too. So
Me
Right,
too.
it's half the
Yeah.
fun, right?
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know how to. I've never put a probe in anything. All I know is old school. Like, I literally touch it. See how it's doing. Look at it. Put my hand on the fire. See what it's going. That's how I learned.
yeah,
I think when I came up, they might have had that technology, but like my dad used to be the barbecue guy, and then he never was really into it. It was just kind of like, all right, we're having a party. Somebody's got to fucking barbecue this stuff, right? And so he's like, I'm just going to get it done as fast as I can, right? So I'd be watching him, and I'm like 10, 12. I'm like, oh, that fire looks a little high. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? And then, internet comes out, and then, I'm start watching, like, Food Network and shit. And I'm like, all right, hold on. Let me try something, right? So I'm like, hey, how about we brine this meat first? He's like, the
all
fuck
right.
are you talking about?
Right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry, I got this. And then, by the time I was 16, I was the barbecue guy. I was doing all the parties and everything. People were
Yeah,
hitting me up and, oh, can you, do this? And I was getting like $50 to do a chicken and, $100 to do 2 slabs of ribs. I'm like, I'm
Nice.
broke. Hell yeah, I'm with it. Let's do it, right?
well,
So
also,
the only way I knew how to do it was my hands. I had no thermometer.
but I mean that's it. Like that's the difference. Like like a bread maker knows like when the dough is like ready,
Right,
and it's like you
right.
do it. I mean, man, my grandma used to do that with pies all the time, like pie crust. And it's like, but then on the other side of it, like, making money doing it or whatever. But is there like a better feeling than like making really good food for a bunch of people? And like,
No,
I
that's
mean,
it. That's the pinnacle.
that's
It's
it.
all the way up here, baby. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like when you cook, like, like you said, like your uncle, like, you take a little piece off here. Like, when I'm barbecuing, I throw a couple hot links on,
Yeah.
a couple sausages on, throw a couple wings on, something to keep you going because you're gonna be here for God knows how long, right?
Yeah, bro. That's your job for the day.
Seriously. Like, even if you're just doing like, something that's not that long, like you're not even doing brisket or pork butt, like if you're doing some ribs, right? You're still like just getting the fire right without having thermometers. It may take you an hour and a half,
Yeah.
So then you got to put it on and make sure it's good, and then start spraying after a certain, it's literally like probably your whole damn daylight is done just there. So you got to get you a beer and a couple of hot links or sausages or hot dogs or something, and
Treat yourself.
you're in for the long run. But so hopefully my buddies I'll make them listen to that part for sure, and they will make their own decision because there's these have you heard about the master built gravity fed smokers they have?
I have not gotten the bravery to read about it because it seems like some
Oh, is
Bud
that the
Light
one that's
kind
like a
of
barrel and you kind of hang it or whatever?
It has like a hopper on the side where you can fill it up with X amount of whatever fuel you're using, charcoal, wood, whatever, and then it's whatever your temperature you want. It's kind of like the Traeger where it has thermometers and a fan to regulate that,
Yeah.
but it's not using just pellets. It's using real wood, real charcoal, or a
Oh
combination
wow.
of both.
Nice.
And they're way cheaper than the Traegers.
they
Is the
are.
crazy
They're
part.
like $200-300 cheaper.
It's
Yeah.
probably
And
like,
so
because brand name and, offshoot. Just clearly like Traeger's, trading off the name as well, right? So you gotta
Yeah,
pay a couple of $100 extra.
and it's crazy how that kind of came to be because no one knew what Traeger was before like 10 years ago.
yeah,
And I mean, but yeah, I mean, they seem really cool. Like they kind of lost me at the gravity thing just because I'm like, oh man. But yeah, man. I mean, I think like with anything, it's like they probably didn't make it to suck. You know, they probably made it to be pretty good. And I think it's kind of like whatever. Um, I mean, I use a barrel smoker, like an offset smoker, and that's what I'm going to replace this one with because that's what I know.
Right.
But if I was just starting, I would definitely like try and figure out what would give me the taste I want for the least amount of work.
yeah. and your budget, whatever the case.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so question now, since we're getting up there in time. What is it? Today is November 8th. So we got holidays coming up, Thanksgiving and everything. But in the shoe community, this is when shit kind of gets a little spicy. You guys got anything you're looking at coming up? Because you said your favorite shoe was the Bread One. They got that patent Bread One. How do you feel about that? Not doing it.
I don't like patent leather on. I mean, like it's sacrilege, but like I'm not like super big on the 11s. I love to look at them. I don't really like to wear them. And man, what was that pair of ones that was like patent leather?
The black and gold?
Yeah, was it? I mean, it was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. Not the.
Yeah,
Not
it's
the one
probably
that
the
looked
black
like a
and
Doc
gold.
Martin. Yeah.
Well, the black and gold just came out last year, but they had the Zoom ones that were white and kind of light blue grayish. That was a couple years ago.
There was maybe my memory sucks, but anyway, like a buddy of mine got a pair of the patent ones, and they looked so bad. After like, and I don't mind if shoes look.
Oh, the crease probably is triple bad, huh?
But it was like, I mean, the pictures that were going around of that, the one with the red stripe on the side, like the couture ones or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the toe
yeah.
box looked like somebody hit it with the hatchet from The Shining. Like that's what these look like to me. And I was like, man, I don't want to mess with it. But I mean, yeah, I think it's a pretty shoe. I wouldn't mess with it though.
Don't feel bad, man, because I'm in the same camp. I'm not a fan of patent leather. As far as I'm concerned, if they do a Pro Trail of the 11, I want that whole patent leather part removed. Replace it with better leather, like they did with the 11, where they used like a patina leather.
Yeah.
Use that. Screw the patent leather. I don't need it. Just because it's more of a durability issue, right?
Yeah.
So the more you wear it, the shittier it looks.
It's nice to wipe the hot sauce of it though. Like if you
Yeah,
split
I mean,
Reaper peppers
true.
and mix with V hots.
True, but
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of patent leather either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can't go with it.
And I mean that's kind of where I'm at with the cool grays too. Like I kind of obsessed over that one for a while, like we kind of all
Same.
do anymore, where I'm like looking at it and like trying to hunt it down. But it's one of those ones that I know if I got it, like I would never wear it,
Right.
And so I mean, like there are things that will pop up that aren't even on my radar, and like it kind of ebbs and flows, like how much you're paying attention to releases or whatever. But like those I'm on my year ones,
Threes.
the
Okay.
ones that are supposed to come out, those look awesome. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I don't know if there's really anything that's on my mind.
That's on my mind only because I never got the bread ones, and
Yeah.
this seems like the only chance because they're probably gonna make 5 million pair of them
Yeah.
because it's the holidays, so they always make enough pair for the whole family.
Well, and the thing about those are like, if you're like cool with patent leather, like those are going to look great, like from a distance, up close. It's just like I got my 20 whatever 16 pair over here, and I'm going to wear those until they just fall apart, So if I was in the same boat as you, like I might have to rethink it because I just think that colorway is so great.
Yeah.
Right.
But
All right, so next we have to get into some jazz talk. So
all right,
you're the jazz man.
I'm a jazz
Well, I
man.
mean, okay, not the jazz man on earth, but right here, at us three, I'm going to consider you the jazz
Definitely the jazz man.
That's right.
I'll accept.
man. Okay, so I have never been huge on jazz, not hating jazz, just that I never had anybody to walk me through, nobody to give me, what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that noise was, but so I had a friend in high school, and she was always trying to tell me about jazz, and this is high school. Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit, right? Like most people probably weren't trying to hear that shit, but like obviously she was on a whole nother situation that I was not.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite type of jazz? Your favorite artists? What type of jazz? Like, just give us a little, some of
Oh
that.
man, how deep is the
I
ocean?
know you probably could go forever, but
Um,
you also probably want to go to sleep sometime soon. Also,
While I'm talking about music, man, like, okay, the first thing I taught a jazz appreciation class in like a college level jazz appreciation class for 14 years, and um, it was kind of fascinating because like this is music that like aside from being a father, like this is like what I dedicate my life to. Like I'm obsessed with it. I'm always listening. I'm interested in the history. Like I play, I write, and so it's like there's never a moment that I'm like away from it. So my perspective is very skewed. But when I taught this class, like first of all, like just the relationship that a lot of people have with music is a different experience than I do, where I'll like sit and listen to like a Mahler symphony for like 2 hours out of my day and think that that's like time well spent just sitting still, getting leg cramps and like listening to some classical music. Um, so I think, you get out of something what you put into it. And jazz, like I think there's a stigma about jazz that I think sometimes is justified um, in this level, where like if you put something into it and you pay attention and you learn about the people and you learn about the stories of the music and learn about why and what they were trying to say and what it was like in relationship to like in history and like culturally. Um, like almost like a sociological thing versus a music thing. I think that that puts like a personal connection to the sounds that you're hearing. Like if I know like a recording session like by Miles Davis, what like happened at the same time period that he's like kind of battling like heroin addiction and like chasing Charlie Parker down in a taxi cab with a box of food and a prostitute, which is a real story. Um, and like I know where they're at, or I know Billie Holiday, like the pain in her life, and when I hear her sing "Good Morning Heartache," like it resonates more because we all share the human experience, right? Like we know pain, we know humor, we know all this love, we know all this stuff. Um, but jazz, like, is this semi-abstract music that is not literal. Like Miley Cyrus is literal music. Like there's nothing like that you listen to Miley and you like kind of have to interpret her music. She is telling you what she's singing. I mean, I bring up Miley Cyrus because I just listen to Miley Cyrus with my daughters, but um like jazz music, like if you know the stories and you do that little bit of like coming to the music, um, then you kind of reap more benefits of it because you are broadening your perspective by hearing somebody else like put their soul and their heart into a music that is open for interpretation because it's an abstract music. That's kind of a long answer, but it's something that we can all relate to. It's the same thing that you, if you look at an abstract painting and you don't know anything about art, but you're, whether you're going to like check out some art or you're on a date and you're trying to like impress your date by like, I know something about art. Like if you see an abstract painting, you're going to feel some sort of way if you're open to it, right? Like it might make you feel this or it might make you feel that, and that is not the experience that your date or somebody else or anybody else in that room is having, but it is your experience. And like I hear Miles Davis play like one note, um, that resonates on a very personal level, whether it's what he meant or whether it's what I'm interpreting. And yeah, man, it would be like one thing if Miles is telling you what to think, but the nature of jazz, of abstract music, is that it's allowing you to interpolate your perspective kind of onto those sounds. Um, And so that sounds very intellectual and very deep, but really it's like kind of one of the most primal feelings that we have. It's the same thing when we see a sunset. Like you can't say technically what's happening that makes you feel some kind of way. It's just your response to it. And then the other thing is like with the music, like there are so many different sounds that come out of different people from different, like Miles himself. You listen to a Miles record from 1949, it's going to sound way different than something he recorded in 1987. Like it's not even, it sounds like two aliens from different planets. Um, and that's kind of cool too, like to go along with the journey. So, I mean, just like anything, like I think having an appreciation for art that somebody creates, you have to be open to it, and then you have to kind of, accept that it's somebody else's kind of creativity that we get to experience. Um, the specific like answer would be like go listen to Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Duke Ellington. Um, I mean, like, so quick story. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but like,
No,
uh,
no, no. That's what you're supposed to do.
man, um, when I was in college, uh, I went to college to play golf. I was going to major in business. So I got a golf scholarship to go play golf. And then, like going into my freshman year, I like suddenly had this epiphany that I want to be a musician. I played in high school, or whatever, but I caught the love for it. And so I had to pick, and like I had to pick one or the other. The golf coach was fucking scary, and he was like, "You got to pick." I was like, "Oh, okay, jazz." Um, and so like I'm like learning a lot. And there was this record store with this old burnout Grateful Dead looking motherfucker that like ran this record store, and like he was always turning me on to stuff. And sometimes it was good and sometimes it wasn't. And one day I was like, what's the best record that I don't have that I need to have? And he asked me a couple things. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that. How about this? And he holds up a Love Supreme, a CD. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know John Coltrane. It seems intimidating. Like I don't think I'm going to understand that music. He was like, just listen to it. And so I take a Love Supreme, John Coltrane, 1964 uh, uh, quartet with McCoy Tyner and Jimmy Garrison and the great Elvin Jones drummer. And I put it on, and it's like opens up. It's kind of cool, and he plays all this stuff. And then I'm listening to it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then they start like chanting, "A love supreme, a love supreme, a love." And it's like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Is this a cult? Like, I don't know what's going on, And so I kind of put it away, and I come back to it, and I put it away, and it's very like intense. And then one day I put it in my 1989 Jeep Cherokee in this shitty Pioneer like CD player, and it got stuck. And I'm out in the middle of Kansas with one CD in my car for 9 months. And I mean, I tried like two knives, like to pull that out. I tried some like tweezers. I knew a girl that was like pre-nursing, and she gave me these like tong things. Like I couldn't get the CD out of my car. And I was like, fuck, I mean, I went to school in a small town, so like you have to drive to like have fun, you know? And so it was like giving birth. Like 9 months later, something hit me with this record. Like I got it. Like I was reading the liner notes, and the fourth movement of this is called Psalm, but he wrote this poem, and he intones the words of this poem on his saxophone, and it's like this song of like devotion. And like I'm not super religious or anything, but like this was his devotional suite to God. And I was like, man, this is like so deep, and his sound, like Coltrane sound, you get into it and it's like a big old grandma hug that smells like cookies. It's like this beautiful sound, and he's like fighting his demons, and he's coming to grips with like creation and all of this like deep stuff. And bro, I've been like doing this for 20 years. I don't know everything. I can't analyze everything that he plays, but I know that it's like very emotional and very deep. And and that's like that set off a new plateau of love of the music for me, and a love of any music, not just jazz. um, but like finding that connection from the artist to the listener, through the scope of the music. And so people like John Coltrane on that record, Miles Davis, what he did on Kind of Blue, um, anything from Duke Ellington, like, because Duke Ellington's music is like, he is telling the story of what it meant to be like an African American in the middle of the Harlem Renaissance in a city, and it's urban, and it's like, but it's got country, like blues, and he's like revisiting and like sophisticatizing like the blues, and he creates this music that all the 17 people in this band are playing his music, but he's writing it so that they can sound like themselves. So they all feel like themselves under the scope of his vision. Like, and then there's Count Basie from Kansas City and Charlie Parker from Kansas City. And like, oh man, I mean, like, you feel when I take the stage, like I just played Friday night at 18th and Vine, which is like our historic neighborhood in Kansas City, where like everybody grew up playing jazz back in the 30s, and Charlie Parker got gonged off the Mutual Musicians Foundation stage, when he was a kid because he sucked. And like, I'm on stage and like overwhelmed, like, that I get a chance to like share my view because of people that came before me in this 100-year like heritage. Like, I'm not related to Count Basie in any way, but I am. And it's just like there's this just beautiful history of the music, and that comes out. So all that stuff together, and I like the way it sounds. Like, it hits me right. Like, if it doesn't hit you right, I mean, maybe it's not for you. But there's a lot there, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that everything you just said was fucking beautiful. Damn, that was amazing. Seriously, man, you
Thanks,
sold
man.
me. I swear to God, I'm about to listen to all that shit you just mentioned. I got it on wax, so it's
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
I'll send you a play. Like, I do this thing where like I call like falling in love with listening. And so I'll do it. Recently it's been like on Zoom for libraries and stuff. But like, kind of, it takes you through like the thing. So I'd be happy to send that over. Just kind of,
Oh,
you can kind of pick
please,
and
hell
choose.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Varian, how you feel about this? He's talking about here.
I actually like jazz, but it's funny. I got into jazz through a Tribe Called Quest.
Oh yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Yes.
Yep, because
Yeah.
Q-Tip would sample all these like super jazzy tracks and everything. I kind of got in from that. The one and only jazz concert I've ever been to, like live, was Winter Marsalis. It
Ooh.
was amazing,
What group?
amazing.
Do you know what group it was?
No, I
Like a
was
big
so
group?
young. I
Okay.
can't remember. I think it was like maybe like 90. I want to say 95 or 96, if not 94. I don't know, somewhere around that period.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Winton periods for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man,
it was
that's great.
awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
But
that's
no,
another thing too. Like,
everything you said, man, I feel it. And like with Duke Ellington, like in New York and everything like that, like
mm,
jazz helped bring about chicken and waffles. If you want to think about food that way too, that's how it all came about. It's from jazz renaissance.
yeah, man. And I mean, like just even the story of like how he came to popularity at the Cotton Club, which is like this super racist, like
Right.
like the whole concept behind this club is like plantation stuff. and and he had this way of like, you know I mean, this is like super deep to get into, but I mean, he took these situations, and you can see the humanity in him of how he responded. He's like he's like, well, I'm creating my music. They come up with these kind of racist like code words for his music, like jungle music and stuff. And he was like,
Right.
well, you may call this music one thing or another, but I call it the breadth of Ellingtonia or whatever. And it's like you learn a lot about self-respect by studying Duke Ellington, or Louis Armstrong, or, like you hear, like in Louis Armstrong, man, you hear like all this stuff. Like he grew up in a terrible neighborhood in New Orleans, but like with great art, I mean, any genre of art dating back to like Mozart or whatever, like you hear all that human experience in their music, you know, not just the struggle, but the humor and the absurdity and the brilliance and like all of it comes out and that's great. But man, what you were saying about Tribe, like I mean, you need a gateway drug to get you into like any other kind of music.
Tribe
And
was
I'm,
the gateway drug. For
yeah, man.
sure.
And so
Definitely.
like you go from like Tribe or whatever, and I mean like the logical thing for me would be to find something like a CTI record from the 70s. Like CTI was a record label, and like Freddie Hubbard had a record called Red Clay. And there's this boom 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 boom
Right, exactly.
boom 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 boom, and then like the chords come in. It's like the kind of 70s vibe, and it's like man, like you move from that to that, and then you're in Freddie Hubbard, and then it's like 6 degrees of separation to whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
I used to run around with a lot of turntablists and what have you. And one of my favorite things to do is basically like find out where the sample is from and kind of just
Oh
learning
man,
and bridging that whole thing together. I've just enjoyed that sort of thing, for my own little nerdy aspect of it. But yeah, that's how I just try to discover like other genres of music, and going deeper into jazz and blues
yeah,
in acid jazz and fusion and all that too.
it's deep, man. So deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like you said, like I used to try to chase the sample. Like, man, where is that?
Mm,
Right.
Is that them playing it? Is that original? Is that something that's been done before? And then the deeper you get into it, you start realizing that everybody pretty much is just borrowing from the previous generation. You
yeah,
know, not
Pretty
necessarily
much.
sampling, but you take a little bit here, take a little bit here. Like like you mentioned blues. Like my dad is crazy with the blues, so I'm a blues guy. Always been about blues.
Nice.
Funk is my favorite music. Period.
Love funk.
Oakland. I mean, come
Off
on.
top. Like
Love funk.
I went when it's just right before the pandemic happened. George Clinton had a show in San Jose. Me and my boy, I said I ain't never seen George Clinton, and he's an older guy. He's 50. I'm 36. But and me and him, we hang out like we're the same goddamn age, right? Because we like the same music, like the same
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Go get a beer, go get a shot, drink, listen to some damn live music. If it's funk, I don't care who playing it. It could be a dude on the damn BART train, right? If it's
Right.
funky, I'm with it, man. Right?
yeah, man.
So we went down. I said, when last time? When's the next time we're going to have George Clinton on tour?
Right.
This could be it, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
And he wasn't, it's not 1972 anymore, but he's still funky. He's still funky. He had a little chair there.
It's
He had
bad.
50 people on stage, just
Yeah.
like probably back in the day. Yeah, it
Right.
wasn't no mothership, but
Oh man.
but it was good though.
But then like you find that gateway, like you like funk. I mean, like like Water for Chocolate, common record from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like so Roy Hargrove, trumpet player, is on that record. Like that's a trumpet that you hear. And he played with Jill Scott and some other people too. But like Roy had a funk record called the RH Factor. And like there's some deep funk on that, but it's like infused with like jazz harmonies and stuff, even more so than like George. So like that would be like a gateway, into that record. George
No,
is
seriously.
great, man. George is great.
Speaking about jazz, like, so I love drumming. I can't do it because I have like a ligament injury in my foot. But jazz drumming always intrigues me because that's so just intricate, and it's like the hardest thing to do.
Oh man.
Like compared to anything else, like jazz drumming is just all skill, timing, being in the pocket. Like
Yeah.
it's just fun to watch.
100%. 100%. Yeah, man. Elvin Jones played with Coltrane. Like he was using those like polyrhythms from Africa, and he would bring that on with the ting, 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 and like so all his music, like you listen to a Love Supreme or Crescent or any of those things, and he's like all that, the engine is just killing, and then all the chops and all the everything else. But like that soul is up in there too. The drum, man, that's where it's at. That's where it starts.
Exactly.
So like how you were saying, like Water for Chocolate,
Yeah,
Common, right? You said he had who was that? Hargraves is
his
playing on
name
the
Roy Hargrove.
War Hargrove.
Grove. Yeah, he just passed last year, I think.
Oh man, R.I.P.
Yeah.
So first time I heard Kanye West Drive Slow, right? And it's I was like, what the hell? Trying to trace the sample, right? So I looked up right now. Then I found out Hank Crawford,
Hank
Wildflower.
Crawford.
And I was like, oh shit. And I started listening to Hank Crawford and I'm like, okay. Kanye took like 2 seconds of him, but his shit is fire.
Hank Crawford's my dad's guy. Like that's the guy. When I was a kid, and he was like, "Man, you got to get Hank Crawford the Peeper," you know. And it's like this kind of like swanky like thing, and he's still like, I mean, I have concerts at the concert hall for like 1,000 people. And he's like, "Man, when are you gonna do the Peeper?" I'm like, "I got to do the Peeper," you know. And it's like, oh man, Hank, and anything with Hank and Jimmy McGriff, like the Oregon Trio stuff. Woo, come on. Come on.
Oh, we got to do this again. We got to do a part 2 sometime soon because we're already getting to about, we'd well over an hour. So yeah, it's
Yeah, sorry,
Question.
man. I like go off.
No,
no,
it's all
don't,
good.
no, do not.
Got a
apologize. Go
question.
ahead.
Have you seen the Miles Davis movie with Don Cheadle yet?
Not yet, but that's kind of because I'm afraid that I'm going to hate it. Because I love Don Cheadle and I love Miles Davis.
Right. Well, so I hear it's good. I bought it. I own it. I haven't gotten around to watching it because you need to be in that mindset to kind of what I mean, because it's jazz. It's Miles.
Well,
It's
the
a lot
first
of
thing you
shit
gotta
that goes
realize is
on.
that story is like bullshit. It's a fictional story of him like
Okay.
chasing down some tapes. Like that never happened. It's like a fictional thing, which it might be really cool, but like I don't know, man. I'm afraid of it.
They're presenting it as like an actual biography. So if it's not 100%, then I haven't watched it either. And another thing, taking back to Kansas, is I'm not sure if you know this. Don Cheadle is from there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He's my cousin. I told you, my grandma's from there.
Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Shut up. Wow.
This is one of those. This is one of those things that the internet
That's awesome.
and what's that shit called? The family tree, ancestry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we've
that's
linked
cool.
with because my grandma, when she moved out here, she kind of separated herself from that family. But after she passed, it's kind of like everybody's piecing everything back together. So I've not met Don Cheadle or nothing, but he's like a second cousin or something, or
Oh, that's cool.
amazing.
something like that. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So
Yeah, I'm a
everything's
huge fan
tying
of
back
Don
in
Cheadle,
together.
too.
Yeah, for sure. Don Cheadle's a guy. So
Man.
let's put a bow on this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we can do this. Clint is a very, very busy man, so we're gonna do this again eventually. We're gonna do this again. But I'll let you guys say your goodbyes. I'm gonna give you guys the floor real quick. Varian, you're first. Go ahead. Pump yourself.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Really had a good time, man. We definitely need to do like a part 2 for sure. I
Hell
can just
yeah.
like sit here and chill and listen to Clint and just like go at it. Like it's all good.
For
I'm
real.
happy. But again, man, thank you for having me. Had a great time with you guys. Check out kickswithvhots.com and kickswithvhots on Instagram. You can check out my hot sauces and my hot honey as well. And just stay safe.
Hell yeah. Nah, it's all good. And that hot honey is fire. Clint, you got anything
Glad
to say
you
to
like
the
it.
people?
Man, I mean, he had me at hot honey. I don't know if I can say anything.
It's a habanero hot honey. So yeah, you need
No,
to
just
check
the
it out.
words. Just the words. Just hot honey. I'm gonna write a tune called Hot Honey. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
No, man. I thanks for inviting us and giving us a chance to chop it up. I would say like if you're in the Midwest at all and you have a hankering to like check out some music, by all means check out the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra. That's my main thing. It's a big band. I write, arrange the music for it, and lead the band and stuff. KCJO.org. You can Kansas City Jazz Orchestra on the socials. My personal thing, just Clint Ashlock. clintashlock.com or at clintashlock. Feel free to check me out. Happy to talk jazz with anybody at any time. Maybe not even at length like this, but yeah, man, just be good to each other, you know.
Seriously, be good to each other. Off top. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to finish off my last little bit of Fernet and cheers.
You and your
If you guys
Fernet,
want
man.
to check me
That's
out,
something else.
that's my thing. That's my thing. Clint, you ever had Fernet before?
Absolutely.
Well, see, there we go. That's
Settles-
it.
settles
It's all good.
ills.
That's right.
Yeah.
Digestive. Exactly. Gets that hot sauce down. But hey, everybody check, Industry Special on all social media platforms, patreon.com if you want to support so I can keep doing this, get a better camera, get a better computer, get a better situation. We're going to keep trying to do this going on, and see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bless.